What up, family? We are back to continue to talk about how much money do content creators make in 2023. So we got the music and stuff like that going. We got the intro music going. It's lit. We're back. And yesterday we started with part one, breaking it down, and we're gonna continue a quick. We're gonna do a quick recap of part one of this breakdown, just so you guys know. We started this content creator report breakdown from Later.com, where they went ahead and interviewed and they did research on all the top creators of every platform: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, right? And they said, how much money are these people making? Well, we are going to break down the numbers today. Yesterday, we went ahead and started the process. And we're just going to go ahead and like really kind of give you the insight of what people are charging, how much money can really be made on these platforms. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick recap of yesterday, and then we're going to get into today's data, right? Yesterday, we just talked about who's getting paid the most. Who's getting paid the most? We talked about there's a difference between full-time content creators and part-time, right? Full-time content creators mean that that's what they do. They make content full-time on whatever platform that they put it out there, right? It could be YouTube, it could be Facebook, it could be Twitter, but all their income, they're paying their bills. They're paying all their bills by making content, right? So whether you're, streaming WWE 2K 2023, Madden, maybe you're streaming fitness videos, whatever it is, or you're making content for somebody else, all your income is based on content, right? The revenue from that. Part-time content creators, less than 20 hours, could still have a full 9 to 5. They could still have other jobs, other projects, and things like that going on. And that's what we talked about yesterday. So I was breaking down the difference between part-time and full-time. Then we got into it and we said, hey, well, who makes the most money? Who makes the most money when it comes to content creators? Believe it or not, women do. Is that a shocker? Probably not, right? Women rule the world in sales, right? They influence what is being bought, and they influence what you will buy. So just remember that women are the top influencers when it comes out there, no question about it. That's just what the numbers show. 80% of the top earners are females, so that's just something to keep in mind. Like when you're hiring somebody potentially for yourself, for your brand, somebody you're partner with, that's just, if the numbers are there, and then what the top industry experts and what the top corporations are doing, let's not go ahead and ignore that. By the way, we got a few people in the chat looking in live already. I appreciate it. My nephew OJCJ, make sure you guys follow him, OJCJ Gaming. Yes, my nephew's on here. I'm telling you, listen, teach him young. He's already a content creator. Definitely support him. Deb is already in the chat. What up? What up, fam? She's back for part two. And then real quick, I see my boy D Mart. What's good? What's good? Well, yeah, we're rolling. We're just doing a quick recap yesterday. We're gonna get into the details of some more numbers. Now, also we talked about yesterday where the where are these top earners living, right? They're living in the United States primarily, 67%. Then we broke it down into other cities, other countries as well. Then we looked at, okay, cool. All right, now out of these top people that are making the most money out of all these platforms, what platforms are they on, and also how many followers do they have? So when it came to the top earners, and by the way, this is based off of over 500, I think 17 to 520 or so of the top earners on these platforms. Like, just so you know, 63% of them, by the way, I'm gonna make the graph a little bit bigger so you can see, 63% of them were over 10,000 followers on Instagram. Over 72% had over 10,000 followers on Facebook. 62% on TikTok. And you can see the rest from there, right? So primarily, the people that are making the most money are definitely going to have over 10,000 followers. That's just kind of where the trend is going. So it's, even though it's a vanity number, I know people with 5,000 followers that get contract deals and get ambassadorships. So don't be fooled by that. I know millionaires that only have 2,000 followers. So again, don't just be like, oh, well, you ain't got 10,000 followers, you can't sell. No, this is saying the people that make the most usually have 10,000 followers or more, so that way they can influence those conversations with companies a little bit more, right? So they can influence those conversations because they say, hey, I have a big market, I have a big audience that you want to tap into. My nephew said some of the top creators are some are Swedish and English for short. Yes, let's listen. You already know that. You already know. So let's go into a little bit more. We also talked about yesterday the age range. Who's making the most money as far as content creators? Gen Z, 18 to 24, 10%, right? 10%, boom. Then you got, man, well, you already know, millennials. That is my target market, right? That is the target market, 25 to 40 year olds. 25 to 40 year olds. And if you look at my Instagram analytics, I'm right in that wheelhouse. You might like to say, CJ, who are you targeting the most? I'm targeting that 25 to 40. Not saying I don't have 18 years that follow. Not saying I don't have younger kids that follow. Not saying that people are older don't follow me. I'm saying that's my target. So when it comes to that, so we say, CJ the creator, fit with CJ, all of different brands I have. That's who I'm niched in on, because if you guys are listening right now, you're probably in that range, right? That the millennial range. So that's why I focus a lot of my content on things that they can relate to. Gen Z content, is not is they're comfortable. They're more comfortable, obviously, the boomers. So 18% of the highest earners are boomers, and then obviously as you get older, it kind of drops off from there. And it actually under 18, sorry OJ, but under 18, less than point half a percent are top earners. So that means that you have still a chance, right? You still have a chance. I know kids who literally get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars just to open up stuff on YouTube. So let's not get that twisted. I know a lot of kids that have success stories that are just streaming on video games on Twitch and things like that, right? So, and then right now, YouTube gaming is big. So, by the way, I just want you to know, even though you're watching OJ, you still got a chance. All right. So, we also talked about race and ethnicity. I don't know why I'm tripping on that word, But as far as um, who's making the most money, we already know. We already talked about the United States. As far as the demographics here, white Caucasian is making the most. There are more of them. That's the top earners. Then it's Hispanic, then Black. Then it just kind of goes down from there. And then we're gonna go into today's session, right? This is part two. So that was a quick recap of what we went over yesterday. So now let's get into what we're gonna talk about is more of the data, more numbers, right? By the way, I see you in the chat, Daniel. What up? What up? I see you on it, bro. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Definitely let's stay tapped in. I love that you're here. And by the way, OJ said he knows some young earners too, as well. Under 18 is making some big money out there. So if my nephew knows, just so you guys know, if he can do it and his friends can do it, you can do it. All right, cool. So, by the way, we're gonna get OJ on here one day. OJ is gonna be live on. I'm gonna give him the link, and he's just gonna come on here, and he's gonna tell you about his YouTube channel. I think that be dope for him, and also to inspire you guys. But let's get into today's part two, right? Part two. Let's go into more of how the top content creators are making money. What are they doing? What platforms are they on, etc. So based on the survey that they put out there, one platform is king. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, it's Instagram. Instagram remains the most widely used platform for influencer marketing, with Instagram posts being the most tried and true format, earning 84% of the top earnings, right? Now, by the way, this is a newbie alert they put out there. 72% of the respondents only started monetizing on Instagram in the past 2 years, right? So, in the last 2 years, the top influencer market is continued to be Instagram. Now, but remember, the thing about it is, I want you to understand that can be changing over the next year or two. So these are just trends, right? These are trends of what happened the last year and what people are making right now. But with YouTube Shorts and YouTube gaining ground and TikTok continuing to gain ground, this can all change. But as of right now, the top earners are primarily on Instagram, right? So let's just keep that in mind. So that's influencer marketing. Influencer marketer. So what is influencer marketing? Influencer marketing is, saying, hey, you have a big audience. I want you to promote my product. I want you to do a collaboration with me. I want you to help me promote my channel. I want you to push me. So that's what influencer marketing is. It's to influence people to move, to do something, to either follow somebody, to buy something, to interact, to do something, right? That's what influencer marketing is. So primarily that's still on Instagram, because remember, on TikTok you can still have influencer market, but it's a little bit different because you don't really do so many. You don't really do collaborations like that. You don't really move people the same way as easily as you do on Instagram. But you can still influence super heavy. Things go viral on TikTok a lot faster, so that makes a difference in how it's still super valuable as an influencer. So just to understand how those different platforms work, right? Now, going into the next slide, we're gonna get into some details here, right? So while TikTok is the hub for short form content, Reels appears to be the more profitable content format, with 44% of the monetizers earning over $200 for Reels, right? Compared to 24% earning similar accounts on TikTok. So, what is that saying? That's saying that per Reel that these top influencers are getting paid for, they're making more on Instagram. Not saying that they're not making money on TikTok, but again, they're making more on Instagram because that's just how it is. They're leveraging Instagram heavily, and those deals are coming on Instagram a lot heavier. The top earners um, are, by the way, this is where I really want you to focus on too, because whoever's listening and watching this live or on replay, think about this: the top money earners for content creators are found in these industries: lifestyle marketing. So you're showing lifestyle, fashion, health and wellness. So a lot of you guys are fit pros. What up? What up, Bravo? I see you out there. I see Bravo, my guy. Make sure you follow my guy, Bravo. Bravo is, listen, telling you, one of the top content creators out there in the fitness industry, going to continue to level up. Make sure you follow him. But you know, these are the top industries. So I was saying lifestyle, fashion, wellness and health, beauty, and food. So even if you're not in, let's say there's a couple things when you say that top earners. One, you may already fit in one of those categories. Great. So that should just solidify why what you're doing, showing money can be made. Two, if you're not in one of those industries, maybe you have a second account that you might want to make. Maybe you might want to have a second idea on a brand or something. Say, you know what? I kind of do like showing food in restaurants that I eat at. Maybe I should start doing some vlogs at that. Maybe I should start, showing me getting dressed or when I go shopping so I can do some fashion hitting that. These are the top industries when it comes to content creation marketing. So why would you not lean into it, right? Lean into those things: the lifestyle, the fashion, wealth, health, wellness, beauty, food. You can do that. Now, one of the also things you want to keep tapping on is that the creators who diversify their income streams across Instagram, Facebook, TikTok have higher earning potential. Why is that the case? Can anybody in the chat? I don't know if you guys can tell me this. I want you to interact with me if you can. Tell me why the top content creators earn more money if they diversify their account across multiple platforms. Can anybody tell me that? Now, while you're typing that in the chat, I'm going to go to the next topic, right? Like most jobs, income grows with experience, right? This particularly rings true with content creators of more than 5 years in the game. So if you have been doing content creation for more than 5 years, you earn more money. I'm gonna come back into me for a second. I gotta come back into me because I don't think a lot of people come right into the content creation game and they expect things to just happen, right? They expect things to happen overnight. They expect it, oh, I went viral once or I went viral 10 times, and you've been doing it for a year. Great. But what is your longevity, right? How can companies trust that can you keep this up? Right? Can you keep it up? Or is it just a flash in the pan? How many one-hit wonders are there out there in music and all phases of life, right? People who have been in the game more than 5 years make the most money. This is an article, by the way. All this data is coming from a later.com article from the top content creators of 2022 and the 2023. And so these are top trends. This is not me just making stuff up. These are based on the real numbers, the top people. So, by the way, somebody in chat, OJ said, ads definitely has a lot to do with it. At least I think. Okay, yeah, you know what? That's a great point. Ads definitely do help, right? One of the things that content creators do to get in front of multiple people in front of multiple channels and be omni-channel. What omni-channel means is be present on all multiple platforms. So I'm right now on YouTube, right? We're also on Twitter. We're also on Twitch. We're also on Facebook, right? So look right there. I'm gonna go. Let me move my screen. So you see below, I have my Instagram handle. I have my Twitch handle. I'm on Facebook on Revel Fitness TV, and I have multiple channels. So that's what omni-channel is. So this is breaking it down for you when you talk about the content creators who diversify their stuff on multiple channels have a higher earning potential. Because guess what? Not only am I getting this YouTube audience, but even though I don't have to be like this platform that I'm using. By the way, I'm using StreamYard, right? So this whole thing I'm broadcasting is called StreamYard. It's a platform. So this is allowing me to log into all those accounts at once, and I got people that may find me on Twitch, that may find me on Facebook, that may find me on Twitter, that may find me on Instagram. You'd be like, wait a second. So that's what the answer is that I'm trying to get you to understand is that the more places you are, the more chances you have on hitting the lotto, right? It's like how many more lotto tickets can you buy? How many more ping pong balls can you put in there? How many more chances of quote unquote luck? There's no, I mean, yes, when things go viral, you have more chances by putting things multiple places. So that's what omni-channel is. So I want you to, if anything, I want you guys to take from today's live is omni-channel, omni-channel, be everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube Shorts. I want you to be everywhere. And something like this tool that I'm streaming right now on for lives allows me to do that. So when you come to your content, post it everywhere. Even if you don't do it every single day, take one day of the week, post it everywhere. But this is what the top content earners are doing. By the way, I see you in the chat, David. He said Trinidad James, one hit wonder. Yo, I ain't even gonna lie. This is so you brought this up. So-called the intern. She was over here the other day. We were doing some content. We were rocking Trinidad James all day. And it's that one hit. We were looking for it. My guy Favor was over here as well. He was helping with some SEO, and we were all over here just jamming, having a drink or two, and we were like, "Does Trinidad James have another hit?" And he doesn't. It was just that one. So that's what we just stuck on, that one hit wonder. So that's too funny. But the number one thing I want you guys to focus on, omni-channel. That's how you're gonna make the most money, right? Be everywhere. That's what the top content earners are doing. Now, let's get into some more stuff. The method behind the money, because we're about to get into the actual details, what people are actually getting paid, right? So every brand partnerships come with a variety of factors to determine the price, right? So when you're having these conversations with brands and what are you going to get paid, there's a lot of things that come into play. So this is what it comes down to, right? Let's just break down a formula and show you what people are actually doing. So when it comes to, let's say if I'm a content creator and we can engage in about to do a partnership. Partnership, not transaction. Before working with a brand, creators first and foremost want to have their personal interest in the brand. 76% of the people said, I want to like what I'm actually selling. I want to like what I'm actually promoting, right? Even though you offer me all this money, this is what I need to like what I'm selling. I don't just want to be out here used car salesman selling you something I don't like. They also want to be aligned with the product's brand, and they want to connect with the brand's values. Okay, simple stuff, right? What are the perks also? Now there's some perks in that, right? So what are the extra bells and whistles, the other things that I can get? Do I get some exclusive content? Do I get some to go behind the scenes? Do I get to visit the headquarters? Do I get sneakers on demand if I haven't signed a sneaker contract? Do I get those extra perks? This is the kind of stuff that the top content creators are leveraging and they're asking for when it comes to, the monetary benefit, right? This is what you want to do. You want to ask for those things. I've done it, so I want you to do it too. Also, here's another thing. While there's many factors that influencers consider before landing a rate, before you tell people what you want to be paid, you also want to understand what is the scope of work, right? How much time are you looking from me? How many posts do you want? How often do you want these posts? Do I have to create these posts on my own? You have to ask these questions because depending on how much money, I would say, depending on how much money I'm gonna ask, depends on the workload. So don't just be like, yo, hey, yeah, I want $50 and I'm gonna put stuff in my feed for you. No. All right, hey, I'm gonna post 2 posts a month and I'm gonna post 5 stories and I'm gonna do it bi-weekly or something, and I'm gonna do that for 6 months, and we're gonna meet once a quarter. Like, you wanna break it down. You want to have a strict like workflow and understand what are the resources required. And also, are you going to send me a logo? Are you going to send me scripts? Do I have to curate all this stuff for myself? All these things depend on what I'm actually going to ask for when it comes to the price as a content creator. Now, let's just break it down even further on this chart. Factors that influence the content creator rates. Content format. Is it a video or is it a picture? It's a lot. I'm not going to say pictures are easy because pictures are not easy. Pictures to me is actually harder than videos. I don't know about you guys, but making a good picture that sells is actually harder than video to me because you have one still moment that you actually have to sell and you have to get emotion. You have to get it all from like in that one moment. It's a lot harder than it is for video for me. Also, so that's going to matter, right? And by the way, those rates you see there is telling you how heavily influenced that the top influencers, the top content creators are asking. 67% of them are saying this matters more, like this matters heavily more than a lot of other things, right? So scope of work, resources, expected time to deliver, how often, how long is the campaign, what are the usage rights, exclusivity. Am I only able to post it? Can you repost it? Can you put it on your website? Is that going to cost more? The engagement rate, right? My engagement rate, do I have to, keep an engagement rate high? Like saying, hey, if I post this content, do I have to have 20 comments on here to get paid? Do I have to have 10? Do I have to have 100 views? Do I have to have 1,000 views? Do I have to have 10,000 views? All these different things are, factors in what the rate is because those metrics. If the more you ask for, the more you're going to ask for is money, right? Return on investment of the brand. Do they have to make so many sales? That matters. Do I have to put their content, their link from from my content, directing them back to that into my link tree or into my bio? All that stuff matters. So all these things matter when it comes to how much you're be making as a content creator. Also, these are some of the things that don't matter as much, right? The bottom contenders, as you saw there, when it comes to engagement rate, usually that's not a big thing that they really ask for because it's not really unless you're really good like me and getting high content engagement rate, it's not something a lot of people push for, right? Because they're a little bit worried about people responding, how many comments they're gonna get. A lot of reasons behind that, but you gotta have a really, really dope community. Thankfully, like I do, because of guys like all you ladies and gentlemen watching that always engage in my stuff. That I don't have a problem with the engagement rates. A lot of people do. So that's why they kind of worry about that. By the way, no hand holding, right? Creators prefer that we just have freedom. We want freedom. You're gonna pay us. You're gonna pay me to do the content. I need you to give me free room to do what I need. I can't have too many restrictions. You want to say, okay, keep it clean, do this, that. Okay, cool. But I need free roam to be able to do what I want, to have that. Like if a creator is boxed in, it's no good to you. It's really not. That's not good. And then also these are the top earners in the industry don't get boxed in because like, look, that's one of the privileges. You came to me because of who I am and because of what I can do and the content that I make. Don't box me in. So keep that in mind when you have these conversations. You don't ever want to be boxed in over any money. Like sometimes money is not even worth it all. Like, can you be you? Can you truly be you and as a creator at all times? And if you can't, it may not be worth the dollar. Almost half of the people who responded as top content creators, 42% are living as a full-time content creator, right? And 21% of them say they want to start their own business from it. So these are some of the goals that come along with that. Let's go into the big screen. 42% of them say they earn a livable income as a full-time content creator. Yes, 42%. That means they don't have to do nothing else. They monetize off the content. 37% of them, 36% work with brands. And then, these other things here, increase your followings. These are the goals of the top content creators when they're working through this, when they're working with brands. These are the goals, right? They're trying to work for the brands. They're trying to increase engagement, increase your following. They're trying to do these things. Now, when it comes to now, we're gonna get into some dollars. I want you guys to really lock in on this one because now we're getting into the money. A lot of talk. We were breaking it down from an overall high view of what content creators do, why they do what they do, who's full time, who's not, the concepts and ideas of why we ask for certain prices. Now we're actually going to get into the money, right? So this is going to get the money part. A lot of you are going to be surprised by this, right? So, by the way, again, this article is from Later.com, Content Creators Report. They analyze over 29,000 Instagram posts to ensure that you're going to get the real numbers on here. So here's the numbers. All right. So if you have a follower count of 1 to 5,000 people, right? 1 to 5,000, an Instagram picture or post or carousel slide, they're saying should be around $54. You're going to get exposure to almost 5,000 people potentially. It may be 10% of that, but that's not your problem. So don't worry about the Instagram algorithm when it comes to money. Don't be like, oh, well, I got 5,000 followers, but it only shows to 100. That's not your problem. It has potential to show to more than 5,000. So that's not your problem. You just have a base, right? If you post an Instagram reel and you have 1 to 5,000 followers, they're saying it should be $100 for that reel. $100. And we're talking about less than 5,000 followers. So with that being said, again, this is one of those things when it comes to social media managers. They're going to look at your account and say, hey, you have 5,000 followers, but you're really only getting like 50 views on your stuff, 100 views, da da da. You might negotiate a different price, but this is what the top earners ask for. If the top earner, somebody in the content creation space that's really, really good, that's really just leveraging everything that they got, asking for $100 for real, and they don't even got 5,000 followers, anywhere from 5,000 to 15,000, which is in my range, right? I'm right around that 14K or close to 14K. I should be asking for $150 just to post on my feed. This is what the top earners do. And I consider myself one of the best. I should be asking for $150 just to be on my feed. And then for a reel, it should be $200. It should be $200. Now, if people don't value you as that, that's a whole different conversation. You need to just hold your ground and say, look, it is what it is. Cool. And granted, can you do collaborations for free? Can you do all that stuff for people you like and stuff like that? Yes, but that's what makes collaborations valuable. That's why you only collaborate with people you like, people that you trust, people that you can trust your brand. Because just because somebody pays you this money doesn't mean you still want to put it out there. And it doesn't mean that you don't do it for quote unquote free just because you can charge them. This is the same what top content creators do. How they leverage that money, saying, hey, if it's somebody on the outside or somebody you don't definitely have a friendship with, or somebody you work with directly, they're asking for this money. Instagram Reels. Let's say people right now. People that have anywhere between this 15,000 and 25,000 followers, and they're not charging what it shows here, $277 per reel, right? They're not charging that, but they should be if they want to be a top earner, right? Again, so look at these numbers. They go all the way up to $7,000 a reel, and they even higher than that. Trust me, you already know. Like, I don't know if anybody knows somebody charges $7,000 a reel. Let me know in the chat. Let me know because I want to know this person. I want to know. Kiki's dropping some gems. Yes, yes. Listen, the gems are here. And I'm glad you guys are tapped in watching live because this is the real numbers, and this is what people are out here getting. And so don't cut yourself short because you're like, oh, I don't have enough. I'm showing you right here that people with less than 5,000 are charging $100 a reel. And again, how do you explain it? You may say, CJ, that doesn't make any sense. They're not going to give me $100 for real. I only have 1,000 followers. It's all about how you present it. It's all about saying, hey, you have to, for one, you want to have good engagement and you want to have consistency on your page and to show that you have a community there. And just because you have less than, like I said, 5,000 followers does not mean that you do not have the potential to have the views go higher. Because if something goes viral, guess what? And so let me go back to that. I want you to look at this for a second. Again, You're not charging the people for what your account has done. You're charging them for what could happen, right? So just remember that. Just remember that. Kiki is saying, "Yeah, I've been playing. Pay me." Listen, listen. Listen. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right here. This is what you, Kiki. By the way, you're almost at 60K. You're almost at 60K. So you should be at that 500. You should be at that 500 per reel. Let's go. But like, I'm out here going viral on some regular stuff every day. Let's go. They're gonna look at you like you crazy. And here's the thing. If I told, like, Kiki, by the way, is a perfect example. She just went viral today. She almost like 15,000 views, and it's about to go higher because it's been shared over 400 times. By the way, you're charging people for what could happen. So if you say, you know what, I only have, I'm going to go for the smaller example because that's easier for people, right? I only have 5,000 followers. I only have 5,000 followers. So why would I pay $100? You could say, listen, you say to them, because there is potential that this video goes to the 5,000 people. And if that happens, you're going to make your money back, or it's going to be well worth it to you. And if it only goes to and get 50 views, that's not your problem. But it has potential to get to that 5,000, and it has potential to go viral. It has potential to, and guess what? If it goes viral and it makes that person tens of thousands of dollars, and you only charge them 50, you're going to be mad. You're going to be mad you charge them 100, right? So you almost want to get to the point where you start negotiating and say, hey, it's $100. But if it goes viral and it goes over 10,000 views, I need double. For every 5,000 views, I need $100. You need to get into that point. Now we talking different game with content creation. Now we talking different game when it comes to partnerships and brands. Like, hey, for every 5,000 views, I need $100. Who's with me? Who's with me with that? Drop something in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Let me know if this is making sense, because we're asking for more money based on the actual production. Because if they go viral and it goes and they offer your stuff, offer your feed, are you gonna be stuck with just that 100? That I'm not rolling with that, right? Look, Bravo said Jam. He with me on that one. OJ, yeah, it is. It's making sense, right? So you like, hey, it's going more. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? So with that being said, these numbers I really wanted to focus on. I want you guys to just dial in on that. So hopefully you took a screenshot of that. I mean, matter of fact, I'll go back for a second. Take a screenshot if you have it. Take a screenshot. Live that up. And by the way, share that. Save that. Be like, yo, somebody, when you have these conversations with brands, you got something to kind of go off of. Say the top content creators of last year going into this year were in around this. This is the approximate rates that they use. So I'm working off that. This is what it is. All right. Next, when it comes to earning higher potential, Reels, we talked about earlier, is the most lucrative format. Some creators earning $7,000. Now, with that being said, right? With that being said, going back to the previous slide, we know that Reels, right here, showing that people can be making big money off of Reels based per post. Like right here, they're in that range of 750K followers and higher, right? So we know people, I know people personally that have that many followers. I know them, and they probably do make that, right? But here, most people don't have that. But that is potentially going to change as Instagram Reels bonus is changing, and as Instagram is now going to go to more of an ad revenue sharing to kind of, supposedly, this is rumored as the time of this recording, is going to be similar to what YouTube's ad revenue sharing is. We don't know what Meta is doing yet, right? We don't know. Right now, at the time of this recording, they're having some financial issues. They got, Meta Verified going out to make more money and all this other stuff going on. So we don't know what's going to happen with Reels bonuses, if it's ever going to come back, how it's going to get paid out, whatever, right? But as of last year, Reels was the most lucrative. The most popular way is actually the feed, obviously, with Reels, right? So let's continue that. Reels is just king. King's Reels. Let's keep it simple. Now let's go into some numbers on other platforms, right? TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Twitter. This is content formats creators have been paid for on those. So Content creators, top ones, have been paid mostly for Instagram posts, Instagram reels, right? And then it falls off. Then there's TikTok posts. 27% of top content creators have been paid off of TikTok, 26% off Facebook posts, which is very close. A lot of people probably wouldn't even believe that. TikTok posts and Facebook posts are pretty much neck and neck, right? They're pretty much right there with each other, back and forth. So if you think that, oh, just because TikTok you go viral, that doesn't mean that everybody's getting paid, and that does mean that you're probably underestimating Facebook posts, because it's pretty much tied neck and neck with TikTok right now. Twitter, it drops down to 8%. LinkedIn, is about 8% as well. LinkedIn is, I think that number, my guess, if you want to ask me as an expert, I believe that number is going to go up to probably over 10% this year easily, because of more videos and more lives. LinkedIn Live is now going to be out there. And also with Pinterest, right? Pinterest is another place. Don't sleep on Pinterest. Content creators are making money on Pinterest. Now, according to the 2,200 TikTok posts that creators typically charge, like that they looked at for, as far as the top content creators, they were about $700 they were getting paid per video, right? That rates can go up to the 1,700, right? Remember, with Reels, that number went up to like 7,000. So the numbers are definitely swayed more into Reels, where it comes to, because we talked about earlier, influencer marketing is just more dollars is going into Instagram and Meta, and there's not as much legal like struggle as we know with TikTok and the China versus the US and what's banned and what's not. And it's a lot of stuff going on that. So people and companies have more confidence putting the money into Meta. Let's just keep it 100. But it's still the most popular, a second most popular format. While TikTok and Facebook are super popular, like I was just saying, only 30% of the top responders of content creators reported making money from either, right? So that's like, hey, money is to be made, but it's not as many as much as on Meta, right? And so, honorable mention, real quick: LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Twitter are underutilized platforms for monetization. According to our survey, 2.5% of creators report revenues of $200 to $500 per post, and virtually no one has reported higher earnings. So there's money to be made per post when it comes to those platforms, but no one's reporting that they're breaking the bank on those just yet. Key takeaways from everything we talked about, right? Unsurprisingly, as creators right now, you're gonna make more when you jump over. Like, it's a big jump once you get over the 5,000 follower club, right? And they said size matters. Size matters. I know it's a joke, but hey, hopefully y'all get it. But nano and micro influencers are still quite profitable. What nano and micro influencers mean is that we don't necessarily have 100,000 followers, right? But we have 10, 15,000, 20,000, and we have, and even potentially close to five, right? We have more engagement, higher rates of engagement, more engagement with the community, right? And we have a super, super high profit amount as well, earning anywhere from from $100 to $1,000 for one single Instagram reel. For one. Finally, somebody caught what she caught what I said. Sizes matter. That's what she said. Never mind. So yeah, it does matter. So, but anyway, what if I told you I made, one post and made over $10,000 from one post? Would you be surprised? I have, and how did I do it? One post literally, triggered a whole ambassador deal that's lasted for years. And I could say that one post triggered thousands of dollars from me, right? So it's definitely there. um when it comes to monetization, Instagram trumps all other platforms. Instagram is still a top choice for brands to sell, right? That's just simple. We've been iterating that, pushing that hard. TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Pinterest is relatively low. The good news is there's a ton of room and growth and monetization opportunities in these platforms. So let's not leave this live thinking, man, let me not worry about so much Twitter and LinkedIn and Pinterest. No, what we're saying is there's a huge opportunity in monetization on those platforms that's being underutilized. So that's what we're saying. We're saying that somebody can go in there and just run the game, and then you could be literally one of the top content earners on those platforms. You're like, damn, next year Kiki Black is running Pinterest, Bravo Fit is running Facebook, and then OJ CJ is running Twitter with his live streams and stuff. Like whoa, it could happen because there's less competition. So it's just letting you know there's opportunities out there. Cross promoting content on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube lends the most cha-ching. Do you see that on here? I want you to make sure you focus on that. It lends the most money if you cross promote. Remember what I said, omni channel. Also, creators are not interested in phony baloney partnerships. If we don't have an interest in your brand, we're not taking your money. We don't want your money. We don't want your money if we don't like your brand, what you stand for, if it goes against our values. Why? Because a lot of the top content earners want to make their own business, right? Also, remember that there's no partnership is created equal. Don't think that just because I worked with one company this way and I work with one influencer this way, it's going to work like that for everybody. Doesn't work like that. Make sure you spell out your requirements before signing any dotted line. Just because I may do certain content and stuff with friends and people that are family and business partners and things like that are close to me, does that mean that I will do the same thing with everybody that approaches me? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's different levels of friendship, different levels of business, different levels of trust, different levels of interest. This is keeping it 100. And lastly, when in doubt, refer to the data we've shared here as a baseline. Consider your follower count and use the formula. How much time is being spent on the content versus the hourly rate, and then tax the hell out of it. Hey, I'm about to have to spend 3 hours a week on creating content for this. Plus, I'm gonna have to give up some time, on a Friday, and I'm gonna have to do this and that. Add some extra to it. Don't be afraid to leverage your worth. So hopefully this was helpful. I see Kiki is clapping. Thank you so much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let me know in the chat if you have any questions before we wrap up. But definitely just drop some more questions in here. If you're watching the replay, you can't drop questions, but you can drop them in the comment section, and then we will reply to it and do it in another episode. I'm going to be live here on YouTube every single day, except for when I'm not. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. We're going to continue to drop these gems. If you missed part one, it's back there and on a playlist. You can watch it. I'm also on multiple other platforms, so I want to share that real quick. I am also on Instagram as CJ the Creator, same way as it's spelled here. Also, Fit with CJ. Also, let me take this off the screen so you can see it. Boom. Let's go this way. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. He said fire content. I appreciate that. Um, he said, thank you, Bravo. Appreciate that. I wanted to share that on the screen. OJCJ, I'm gonna keep this for info. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. So as I was saying below, Fit with CJ, Instagram, CJ the Creator, Instagram, and Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, I also post some of the same content on Twitter, CJ the Creator. Also on Twitch, CJ Slayer X. Not only do you see these type of videos, but I actually play games. I like to play Madden, I like to play football. You'll catch me on there. And also on Facebook, Rev Up Fitness TV. I will be there consistently on this. This is also streaming there. So Live with CJ is also on Rev Up Fitness TV. If you guys and my God, listen. I'm just I didn't even know who he was watching, bro. I appreciate it, bro. I will see you in Houston here in a little bit, in a couple of weeks. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and you help me by just going and subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, just like it. Make sure you like it and drop a comment. That's what helps me, and it keeps me going. It helps build my channel. I'm trying to get monetized on YouTube. So with that being said, you guys have a good night. Hopefully this helped, and I will see you guys tomorrow with some more gems. Peace.